This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hello everyone, it's your old pal Rob. I'm opening it. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep last night, and usually when that happens and I have something on my mind and I start thinking about things, I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking about the industry, my hobby industry that I love so much and that we do so much creating for, and where it's going to go. I just can't sleep at night because I'm in pain all the time because of this thing. And you're seeing this the same day that I'm taping this. I'm actually going to put this for the morning. It's January 8th today. So just to give it a little time stamp. First of all, we never talk politics on this channel, and we never will. And everything that happened last year, I try not to mention, and we're not going to mention it. But you know what I'm talking about and the effects it's had on this industry. Last year was very tough. We lost a lot of cons. A lot of people had a lot of tough years, and I don't wish anything bad on anybody, okay? Even my worst enemy. I hope they all survive. Here's to them. And I also don't edit things, so that's anything. But I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking about things aren't going to be much better this year. And I jotted down a bunch of reasons why. And how are you going to survive it? Now, see, even a little piece of paper where I jotted it down. The funny thing is how this, we're already seeing cancellations. Now, down here in Orlando, MegaCon is one of the biggest cons here. It's a huge pop culture comic book. I love it because I love comic books, and I know a lot of you do. We share the same interest. It was supposed to be in March. Well, now it's pushed off till the middle of August. And with different things happening and unexpected things, we're headed for another year of it being tough. And financially, it's really hurt myself, of course. We've had our struggles in the Oren home, and I think about you guys and how this affects you. You guys, some of you are out of work. Some of you are working from home, and probably crawling the walls. I know we're crawling the walls. We have a granddaughter on the way. We're terrified about that with how things are here in Florida. My wife's lungs, everybody knows my wife's health has not been the greatest of things. As well as, just to put it plain, my daughter-in-law and the CF that she has, certain things can be very devastating. And so we try to be very, very safe. So I kind of locked myself into this room, and I think about, I'm going to talk more about the industry, but I'm just telling you from my perspective, and I wonder how your perspective is. How many of you have lost jobs and things like that? And I wonder how it's going to affect, some of my peers. I don't even consider myself an influencer. But, how is it going to help? Can you guys afford to do the patrons, the Kickstarters to fund influencers? Is this a time where you start holding on to money and trying to save money so you can survive, to keep yourself from being evicted and things like that? And, as much as you want to be able to help these guys or ladies or companies, and listen, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I don't want any of them to hurt ever. But can you afford to do that? Can you afford to put out the money for, to pay a patron every month so somebody doesn't have to find a job and they can review board games or paint board games or whatever they do. Here, we don't need anything. Take care of yourselves. That's the most important thing. That's the thing that we've always done. And at the end of this video, if you can email me at novaprime860@hotmail.com, okay, and tell me your thoughts. I'm very interested, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one email, and I'm going to take one comment in that is below, and I'm going to send you a gift certificate. I'm going to pick out 2 people, and we're going to send you a gift certificate to Miniature Market to try to help you out, so you can have something of entertainment to try to get you through this. And here's why I think this year is going to be so much tougher. Okay, you know, who's going to be able to survive this? Okay, can people survive without the patrons and the Kickstarters if they don't fund as much? Can people survive if there's no cons? So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at this fantastic hobby and how this is going to catch up with us. And I really think it will. You know, first of all, let's look at the very basic, okay, and the most important. Like we said, without money to be able to spend, do you become more choosy? Where before, I'm gonna give $20 to this person because I want that promo. Is that $20 going to be worth that promo anymore, or do you take that $20 and spend it on a game and have to choose from all the different games? You know, last year, towards November and December, there was an influx of games that was incredible. When I looked at Miniature Market, there was about 20 games an hour coming out, and they couldn't keep up. A lot of people couldn't keep up because they were able to get things out, and they needed to get it out and get it out quick. Well, now we're sitting in a bit of a lull, and all the stuff that's coming in that was still due from last year, okay, and there's a lot of stuff coming in. I made a video the other day about dungeon crawlers, how this is the year of the dungeon crawler. Well, with everything going on, with all these wonderful dungeon crawlers, can you afford to get all the dungeon crawlers? I know I can't. I've got to rely on, hopefully, that you know, some people actually look at the channel and go, hey, we'd really like you to review this. Because I don't have the freedom to do what I used to do, where I just go to Gen Con and buy and ship home $30. You've seen the videos here. Okay? You've seen the videos here. Does it make you more choosy as well? And if there's going to be a ton of dungeon crawlers, well, guess what else? Guess who's waiting in containers offshore, waiting to come in? Tons of Euro games. Okay? Tons of different types of games that are absolutely going to flood this market. So what does that mean? Is it good if you have the money? Yeah, sure. You're going to be able to have your pick of the litter and buy whatever you want. Okay? But for the person that's hurting right now, okay, how is this going to affect you? Are you going to have to sit there and look out of 50 games? And maybe you do this already. Out of 50 games, normally you would buy 10. Does it make you go, all right, I'm going to have to pick the 5? Well, in a way, this helps the board game influencer, because now you're looking to find out of those 50 games, which one most connects with you. So whoever you watch, who connects with you, okay, and helps you. And if he can't survive, if that board game creator cannot survive for whatever reason, you know, I that's a whole nother subject. If they can't survive and they're not there, okay, it trickles down. Now you're guessing, okay, or you go someplace else. Does it thin the herd of all the influencers here? Hey, I can't raise the money to do this. I can't get the views. I can't get the donations to to help me create media or to get equipment so I can do better quality media, because people are hurting. This could affect the industry, and I think it does affect the industry, and it affects the industry in a lot of ways, because now you have a flood of games out there, and the smaller companies that are really counting on this game to finally come in that didn't come in from last year. Okay? He needs to get his money back. He needs to sell so many copies. Well, guess what? We decided to put out a game, a work replacement game. Well, at the same time lands 5 other work replacement games. And maybe another one from a bigger company who can afford to advertise a little bit more. Can afford to get it out there and get the word out there. That shines more. And then really good games fall under the radar. Now this was happening before this all went on, but not on the level that it's going to probably be this time. Okay? Because eventually people would find them. They would be in stores. But those stores are going away. Even here in Orlando, we're losing stores. I'm probably sure that you're losing local stores around there. And now it becomes online, reliant on online. And that's not a guarantee. Do you go to eBay? Do you buy direct? I don't have those answers. I really don't. How does this all affect it? Do too many games and a whole bunch of games that fall under the radar and don't sell break someone? And that's something I hope doesn't happen. Publishers are just as badly in a bad way. Can they survive? I'm checking my notes too. You know, like I said, spending. You're going to have to, you know, a majority of the people are going to have to be very smart with their money. You don't know what the future brings. We hope that this is all over sometime late in the year. I know where I do business and stuff like that, they're not saying probably till the end of the year. Are you going to have to be choosy? Is there going to be a massive flood on the market? Because once this stuff all hits, boy, it could really break some people. And if there's no cons where they can sell it at cons, we're already on the brink of canceling stuff in April. What about some of the cons? Do the cons survive? With Gamma gone, okay? How many years can they go without not having a convention? Will Origin survive? Will Gen Con survive? And if they do have a convention where they limit it to 30,000 people or 20,000 people, do you feel comfortable enough to go? Who's going to be the first? Who's going to be the first to say, hey, we're going to do this? And what are the ramifications of it? You know, my biggest concerns, I have friends in this industry on many levels. Influencers, publishers, okay? And then, of course, you, the person that watches that or watches my channel. You know, how are you guys going to do? Are you guys going to be all right? Are they going to be all right? Some of the people that I care about deeply, the publisher that I care about deeply, and there's a few of them that have become very good friends of mine. All right? I hope they survive. How can I help them? Okay? You know, for me, the cons not being there, you know, I don't get to see as much because I'm a smaller channel. So I don't know what's out there. We talked about dungeon crawlers the other day, and people are pointing out things I didn't even know that were coming. That I didn't even know that were coming. And you know, I don't put myself out there. I don't knock on doors. Okay? I do that, and I try to introduce myself at cons. With cons gone, I don't have that ability to do that. So now I've got to scurry and try to find out what's coming. And usually I find out too late, but that's okay. But for the other guy, for the smaller guy, people that are smaller than me that are trying to get going and trying to do something. And there's so much wonderful talent out there, whether at the highest level or down to the lowest level. Okay? You know, they need the patrons. They need the Kickstarters to survive. Okay? Are they going to be able to do that? And can you afford to help them? You know, you've got to put yourselves first. You really do. And as much as I enjoy people with the Godzilla Bank, take care of yourselves first. Please. Please. Take care of your families. Take care of your loved ones. Because you just don't know what's coming this year. We don't know. We don't know. And yes, we have hope. Every time that calendar changes, hope is the greatest thing that you can have. Hope is the most important thing you can have. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone survives this. I hope the industry doesn't take a tremendous beating from this, because we will. It hasn't caught up with us yet. All right? And we're going to lose some great companies that have some great ideas, some great smaller companies. Maybe companies merge. Maybe bigger companies play it smart. I'll tell you what. It used to be the GOAT. Everybody go, ugh, this thing's awful. Because, you know, I wait so long. And then there was always people talking so poorly about Kickstarter. Kickstarter just might be the GOAT right now. And I don't mean, what I mean by that is, it used to be considered the GOAT, and I don't mean the greatest of all time. It used to be the GOAT of the industry because people didn't like Kickstarter for the most part. It had its followers, but now Kickstarter may be the most important part of this industry. It might be the most important part of this industry because people can get the word of mouth about a game out and get that game out and maybe get that game funded and have the money ahead of time to produce the game, to be able to pay bills, to be able to do different things, to support their channels, the influencers and things like that. People are really going to rely on Kickstarter more than ever to really help them through this difficult time. If they can't go to cons, if they can't do different things, if they can't fund different things, they're going to reach out on Kickstarter. Is there games out there that somebody has an idea? Hey, let's put it on Kickstarter. The bigger companies can use it as a reserve to help them pay their bills and get these things moving. And create more and make it easier for you guys to get a hold of. I think Kickstarter becomes even more important than it was, because what it's going to do is it's actually going to save a lot of jobs, a lot of companies, and a lot of channels. It's just, as you the person with not working, or one of your spouses not working, maybe a cut in income, maybe companies are now, and this is happening a lot too, a lot of companies are figuring out, geez, why do we have this, why are we paying $1 million rent for a building when I can have a whole bunch of people at home and I don't need the same amount of people? So people are losing jobs. There's Medicare cuts that are causing people to lose jobs. On top of it, there's a lot of things that are happening and people don't have the money anymore. Do a lot of good games, like I said, fall between the cracks. One of the things that I do to try to survive this is I'll look for big sales. And we all know that I'm part of Miniature Market. Let me tell you something. I'm that clearance section looking for hidden gems, looking for cuts, looking at any way I can to save a buck. So I can bring things to you, you know, like the refuge and some of the other things I bought, that I purchased, that are sitting out there that I gotta bring back here. You know, kind of hard to bring things back, but you know, there's a bunch of there's going to be some huge sales. Take advantage of that. You know, the things that I'm doing to overcome this, you know, to make sure that I have content and things like that to keep the channel going, is being smart, being very, very smart. Going, looking around, seeing what I can find on eBay cheap. Not eBay always inflates things. Maybe introducing myself to people, not going to the hobby store and I would just spend $400 on supplies, painting supplies and things like that. Now being a little bit more choosy and saying, well, you know, I can use all these colors. I can use some extra brushes and things like that. Being a little bit more conservative, taking better care of things. Looking on the clearance sections and going, well, that looks interesting. Okay, let me bring it in, see if it's any good. Try to research. I do a lot of research now. I look around on YouTube and see maybe something that I didn't know about that, and see what people think about it. And don't take the opinion of one, but try to look at a few different people. I always have my go-tos, and I pray that they do a video on something that I'm interested in. Oh, that looks interesting. I would like to do that here. And then bring that game in. Revisiting old things. How many of you have a bunch of games that are in shrink wrap up on your table or walls? God knows I do. And I've been visiting those things, opening out boxes and going, okay, let's figure this out. I never took the time because there was always something new coming out, and I would just get it because I had the freedom to do that. It's not the way it is anymore. I've got to be smarter. You have to be smarter. You know? As much as we want things. You know, it's funny. When I was a kid, I was always so excited to get things because I didn't get everything. So when I got that one thing, it was like the greatest thing of all. Do we go back to that? You know, when you have everything, do you want to work and save and scrimp to get something in that may mean something to you? It will mean more to you because you had to save and scrimp for it. You know, and I see that coming. I see the market getting flooded. I see us losing local stores. I see companies going under because because these games that they're hoping to pay for their next game with don't sell. Because things will be tough. It's going to be tough. Will the industry survive it? Sure. Of course it will. Will a lot of these influencers survive it? Yes. But they're going to be in for some rough times. And being smart and knowing it and being able to identify it, that's where it really comes to be. You know, how soon before somebody gets smart enough with the table simulator and starts saying, okay, in order for you guys to play as a group, each person has to pay a monthly fee or something like that. Now, I don't know enough about table simulator. I heard that you pay for it once and then people make replicants of the board games and then you're able to play them on there. But how soon before that becomes a pay service? You know? Before people change the model of things and really make it that you have to have a license in order for everybody to play that game. Not one person buys that game and then plays it with many, but one person has to buy that game and everybody else has to have that same license. You know, there are going to be people that are going to try to take advantage of things. Maybe that doesn't happen. Okay? And with cons maybe not happening for another year, we don't know. Maybe again they do happen. We can always hope. Maybe people going digitally. I don't think the digital conventions did much. I don't think people really cared. And once after the first one, just to kind of get a feel and be with people, I don't think they had the same effect. I think people put in, companies putting out their own YouTube videos, and maybe that's a way. Certain companies can afford to advertise and break out break out something and say, hey, we have this, and do it differently. I know as far as the online cons were concerned, I really wasn't that interested. Because I wasn't there. I wasn't able to see and feel and breathe in the atmosphere. Probably a wrong word to use, but look at the excitement of people and go, oh, what's everybody all excited about that for? Okay? And be able to pick and choose what I wanted to see. And have an idea, and then maybe walk by something catches my eye. You can't do that virtually. You can't go and go, all you do is see maybe a list of names, and if that name doesn't pop, or that description doesn't pop to you right away, well, you're not going to watch that video, are you? So virtual cons, I don't know how much legs they're going to have. And again, like I said, can these cons survive another year of this? It was tough enough last year. I don't know. Time will tell. I don't have answers. But I wonder what's next. I think the industry survives. I really do. But how? How? What's going to be the next big thing? What's going to be the thing that's going to push it over the edge? There's a lot of good that could come out of it. People are really going to have to work hard. Not that that's a great thing, but I mean, people are really going to have to put thought into things and how they do things, how they present things as an influencer, how they're going to, how companies are going to present things to you to make them more attractive to you. Do you win in the long run? Yeah, I hope so, because I hope that in the long run you guys survive this, okay, and that you're able to withstand it financially. And there are these very tough times for a lot of people. My biggest concern that you guys make it through, and we're going to do what we can to help you here. It ain't a rose garden here, but we'll do what we can. And everybody's struggling. Everybody's having a tough time. From the highest influencers to the lowest. Everybody's feeling it one way or another. Can you motivate yourself to get in front of a camera with some of the outside problems that may, from the things outside that may cause turmoil on the inside of your livelihoods and families, and how things will affect you guys? We'll see. I think there's a lot of people that watch YouTube a lot more now, and Netflix and all that stuff, than they ever have. Could it be good? In some ways. But getting back to where we were, and I don't think we'll ever be back to where we were, but I do think that we will get back to something, and it'll be changed. And my thoughts, my prayers are with you and publishers and other influencers. I wish them nothing but good things. I don't want to see anybody hurt. Anybody. Even my worst enemy, I wouldn't want to see them hurt. It doesn't do me good. Alright? It doesn't do me good to see anyone hurt. And I hope people can be a little bit more humble and kind to each other after this. There's nothing wrong with that. This isn't a political statement. This isn't meant to be negative. It's putting it out to you guys and seeing where you guys are at. What can you do? What do you think will happen? I laid awake thinking about this because it was just popping in my head, and I wonder, what can I do to help? What can I do to make a difference? Some of the things am I talking about? Am I making myself crazy? Is any of this stuff that I wrote down right, or is it wrong? I might be wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. It's bringing this up for discussion and seeing how we can get through this together. All of us. How we can help each other. How we can be kinder to each other and not try to just say, huh, I'm gonna stick my foot in the ground and protect myself. Let everybody else fall. No. Take each other's hands. Make sure you wash them first. and get through this together. Be supportive of each other. Be kind to one another. Be loving to one another. I don't think there's anything better than doing that and helping each other. Help each other make better content, or make things, put things out there that maybe are on sale that'll help people that because if you can't do something and things are so tight, you don't want to see people get depressed or suffer in any ways. So what you do is you try to get them something and bring them some enjoyment to make them forget about what goes on around us, and bring some happiness into people's lives. I think if we're able to do that, we can do a lot of great things. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. You don't have to make it long-winded or anything like that. And I'm going to randomly, or maybe something sticks out in my head and I'm going to really make it shine, and I'm going to secretly pick two people. One that sends me an email at novaprime860@hotmail.com with their thoughts. And secondly, someone who leaves a comment here below. Be kind, of course, and be constructive. Whether you agree or disagree, if you're constructive, you're still considered. But what we'll do is we will send you guys two gift certificates. We'll send out two gift certificates from Miniature Market, one to the best email and one to the best post that I feel stands out. And if I think there's too many good ones, I'm going to just randomly roll a die, number them all, and roll a die, and then you'll get it in your email, or I'll contact you. All right. So again, I look forward to reading what you guys think. And as always, it is your old pal Rob. Until next time, as it's very, very late here. We'll see you soon.